Wigan Warriors, Radlinski returns at full-back. Dallas, Hodgson, no Ainscough, Connolly, Carney. Farrell moves to the standoff role alongside Adrian Lamb. Julian O'Neill is injured. And the forwards, it's O'Connor, Newton and Howard, Cassidy, Wild and Ferner. And the substitutes, Craig Smith, Mark Smith, Bybee and young Sean O'Loughlin at 19 years of age, making his first ever appearance in the first team. Coach Stuart Raper, of course. Now the men from the Boulevard, Hull FC, have Prescott at fullback. Smith comes in because there's an injury there. Mackay, Coelove and Crowther. It's Horn and Jason Smith, the scrum half and captain. Greenhill, Jackson and Carvel, hat-trick against London over Easter. Marr, Ryan and Paul Cook now is the loose forward. And a very impressive looking bench. Bird, Paul King, Logan and Craven. Coach is Sean McRae. So Jason Smith leads the Hull players out, aiming for a first win against Wigan in the Super League and their first away win at Wigan in over a...
Can they rectify that?
That's the question that's on everybody's lips wearing the cherry and white jerseys. But it's Hull who will have the first use of this football. Gareth Carvel in charge of the football, prop for the first time against London, and he came up with 3 tries. Good drive forward by Greenhill, good defence meeting him by Wigan, led by David Ferner. Ferner, one of 3 players to pass a very late fitness test. Rumours abounded this morning that Ferner was out of this match, injured, but not so. There's the first touch back in the Super League for the winger Craig Smith. Jackson was the dummy half, and there's the kick from Jason Smith. High and hanging over to the far side, bounces and is flicked back by Graham Mackay, so it's play on. Prescott will put boot to ball again and kick to the opposite wing. Radlinski's herring after this.
It's a good kick as well.
It is.
That really has turned them around. Wonderful kick under a lot of pressure, Steve Prescott.
On his 70th appearance for Hull, the fullback.
Graham Mackay did ever so well to keep that ball in. Good work by the touch judge also. That's what any coach and any team wants to do, is to dissect the fullback and the winger. And he did it absolutely to perfection there.
Referee Steve Ganson has actually called for the video referee to check whether that was inside the 40-metre mark or not, and it wasn't. He was about a metre the wrong side of the line, Steve Prescott. So it's head and feet at the scrum to Wigan. And had it been the other way round, of course, it would have been head and feet at the scrum to Hull. That's Hodgson.
But that was an important kick, Eddie, was the fact that it gives them the opportunity to apply the pressure and to keep Wigan in their own quarter. If he can do that, then the kick return means that Hull will probably get back into the Wigan half with ease.
That's a good driving run from Terry O'Connor. Terry O'Connor dislocated a finger and came away with bruised and injured ribs at St Helens. This is Harvey Howard now, his prop forward colleague, turned over on his back again.
Big job there.
Dummy half.
Big job there by Harvey Howard, 33 years of age, but I'm sure that he'll do a good job for Stuart Raper. I expect him to be out there for the first 20.
Newton gives it to Farrell. Farrell will dab the ball over the top, and funneling in from his wing is Matt Crowther to pick it up. And now Crowther, the Scottish international, drives it forward, met by Farrell's tackle and also Terry Newton.
Well, that was a nothing kick there by Andy Farrell. He won't be happy with that. It was right down the throat of the winger Crowther. They need to be a little bit more adventurous.
Chris Smith was the dummy half. This is Sean Ryan, and he's wrestled to the ground as well. The players of both sides anxious to get the opponents on their back in possession of the ball. Jason Smith pops one back then. Good run again from Gareth Carvel. Tackled by Mick Cassidy. Here now is Lee Jackson. A run from dummy half from Jackson. Big hit by Harvey Howard.
Good work indeed. Sean McRae knows that this pressure hopefully will be rewarded with some point, and that's a wasted kick yet again.
Poor kick by Smith that was. Jason Smith right down the throat of Radlinski. Not his best. And now a penalty to Wigan. Interference in the tackle.
The big second row, Adam Marr, certainly trying to turn him over, mixing it with the man trying to play the ball.
Well, they've both been at that from the very first tackle.
and that's an amazing thing, though. Getting back to that kick from Jason Smith. We were down on the ground earlier. It is a swirling wind out there. And it's a nightmare for anybody trying to catch it, and yet they didn't get much height.
There's another penalty. And there's another 10 metres because Greenhill had a little word at the referee at the corner of his mouth.
Well, why do they do it? It's beyond belief. There's no way in the world that a referee is going to change his mind. And if there's anyone going to put pressure on, it has to be the skipper only. And he'll be far from impressed, Sean McRae, about the fact, because Wigan now in a great opportunity to get the 2 points.
Clear the ruck, says Steve Ganson. Make the tackle and get out of the way. Craig Greenhill doesn't think he's been treated fairly, but because of his back-chatting to Mr. Ganson, Andrew Farrell here has the opportunity for Stuart Raper to kick the first points of the night.
Well, back-chatting has cost them even more yards downfield. And this guy is in good form with the boot.
He is. He has had more appearances in the Super League than any other player. This is 153 tonight out of a possible 159 for Andrew Farrell.
Phenomenal, that, Eddie.
Well, he rarely misses, and Wigan can be thankful for that.
Well, he's a super fit athlete.
He's taking his time with this penalty attempt. Shows you how important 2 points at the end of the day might be. And Farrell has kicked it, so that's just the start that Stuart Raper wanted, not so Sean McRae. And the moment the penalty was given, saw Sean on the walkie-talkie down to the touchline. I bet the message was tell them to keep their mouths shut.
Little doubt about that, but he saw the smile on the face of Stuart Raper, and rightly so, because we mentioned before the kick-off, Eddie, about the fact that Wigan have to take the opportunities that come their way, especially early in the match, and they certainly did on that occasion.
High kick-off, swirling around underneath it. Adrian Lamb tips it inside to Harvey Howard. So Wigan with the first points on the board. And the referee, having had 3 minutes of players being tackled like this and turned on the back, has penalised Hull twice in quick succession, so the message should now be out. Cassidy here with the drive. Cassidy, the next try for him will be his 50th of his career. Terry O'Connor.
Good solid work by the forwards there. It's nearly to the halfway line.
Lamb now will put the kick in over the top, and it stands up nicely for Steve Prescott, and the former St Helens fullback drives it back about 5 or 6 metres before he's met by Terry Newton and also Andy Farrell. Here comes Toa Coe-Love. Interesting for Toa Coe-Love tonight. Former Warrington man. He was sent off here, remember, in the first game of 2001 for a couple of reckless challenges on Steve Renoff.
I remember that. It was a tough encounter. Things got a bit warm.
There's one back for Hull.
Well, it's good to see that the referees are taking control of that. Both sides are doing it. I honestly feel that the rugby league officials may have to start looking at this situation where they're hanging on, they're trying to turn a man on his back. They've got to be penalised. That's the only way it'll get through to the players.
First, come on, Ted. Stand behind. Yeah.
Greenhill gets to his feet, and Jackson comes down this side, gets the pass away there. And it was Sean Ryan. He gets Hull to within 10 metres of the line, but wide out. So they'll come back towards the post now. Carvel to Jason Smith. He showed it then to Richard Horne, held on, took the tackle, and he's now banged in front of the post, 9 metres out. Carvel's the dummy half. He'll have another run at them, just as he did against London on Monday. And they're all offside. Wigan, the referee giving Hull chance to let that develop. It didn't, so blew the whistle. And Terry O'Connor, he says, 5 yards offside.
Good refereeing. Surely they'll take the 2 points on offer, and Jackson points to the sticks. There's about 5 that the official could have selected, and they're in amongst them there. I wonder what is going through their minds. It's a confusing time for this Wigan outfit. We often talk about it, Eddie, the psychological effect it can have on you when you're beaten by your nearest rivals, arch rivals for many, many years.
I was going to say nearest and dearest, but maybe that's not the right phrase.
Certainly not dearest.
Matt Crowther then with the opportunity to level the scores at 2 apiece. 8.5 minutes. No problems for Matt Crowther. The Scottish international gets the 2 points from the penalty, and it's level pegging. Totally unflappable, isn't he, Sean McRae? The only coach to have coached every round of Super League since it began.
Settle into it, tens of rocks.
Stuart Raper, his opposite number.
Old hand, isn't he? When you think about it, Sean, as you mentioned, he's been around for quite some time, had some wonderful success. But I think it just shows there that both coaches and the players realise, Eddie, that this is a pressure game for both sides, in the fact that they've gone for the 2 points available, not try to run the ball, and we've yet to see any really open play from either side.
Well, Wigan, since 1973, when we take the watershed, really, when they split back to 2 divisions, they have won 29 of 44, and incredibly here, they've won 19 of 22 against Hull on home turf. History, as you can see from the Super League, certainly is very much on Wigan's side. But matches are not won in the history books. Good hands here from Hull. They get to the halfway line, and Jackson gets a little further over into Wigan territory before he's turned on his back. Now then, it's with Jason Smith. Jason Smith went for the runabout, but that was well done by Terry Newton.
He saw the inside pass was on.
There's the kick from Jason Smith. It's high and it's hanging. Carney's underneath it, and Carney claims it. He was under all sorts of pressure then from Crowther.
That was unbelievable. Crowther really could have been penalised, because it appeared to me that he was touching the winger before he actually got the football. That was real pressure.
And Crowther also looks, from this distance anyway, head and shoulders taller than Brian Carney, but the Irish winger, he did really well. This is David Ferner now. 10 metres inside his own half, plays the ball to Terry Newton. Here's the other Terry, O'Connor. Newton now to Farrell, and the angled kick, a high angled kick here, and this is, well, very easy for Prescott, a fullback of that quality. Prescott taking on Carney, and Carney with plenty of strength, and the ball was reefed out by Carney.
Back to 6.
It is.
Good work, but to no real advantage, but at least...
Well, that's a penalty against Carney.
It should have been. But again, we see a poor kick from Andy Farrell. That was far too deep, right down the throat of Steve Prescott.
Carvel driving it in again. Gareth Carvel, the Welsh international. A lot of people believing that maybe Sean McRae can do for Gareth Carvel what he did for Paul King last year and turn him into a regular international. Sean Ryan, quick play the ball to Paul Cook. Cook then inside to Smith. Smith, wide it goes to Carvel again, and the youngsters lost it. Wigan have it back. Well, that won't have pleased him, and Jason Smith could have been penalised then.
Looked to be a bit of interference there, didn't they, from Stephen Wild, the second rower, and one-on-one. That's play on.
Now then, David Ferner operating at loose forward tonight. He gets Wigan to the halfway line. Mick Cassidy in the helmet plays the ball inside to Terry O'Connor, who drives it in.
The elbow went right up into the face of Paul Cook. He did well to cover it.
Lamb had to stretch for that. He found Farrell, and Farrell then gets it away to Stephen Wild. Stopped by Mackay and Horn. And Wigan now will come this way with captain Andy Farrell. And they want it floated out wide. Hodgson's got his hand up here. They want the kick wide. Maybe Lamb will oblige. Well, he's tried to get it out there. Oh, and it's not taken cleanly. Chance here, 6 to go. A big fumble there by the Hull defence. It's with Cassidy now. And this now is Newton going for glory on his own. Jason Smith got to him. There's Cassidy again. Here is Harvey Howard to use his weight and strength. But the Hull defence stands firm. But for how much longer? Newton is the dummy half. He'll fire it back to O'Connor. O'Connor then will give it wide to Radlinski. Further wide to Farrell. Farrell skirts round one.
Oh, great tackle there. It had to be from Marr.
Fantastic tackle from Adam Marr. That was try written all over that. Here now is Connolly, a stab through. Connolly, he will get it back, and not Connolly, it's Lamb. Lamb gets it back. Newton infield, then it comes to O'Connor.
Surely the kick to the corner. Or will Newton go on his own? Will he burrow underneath?
He fancied it, dabbed it through, and that ball came off the feet of Jackson to Smith. And Hull will try and run this ball away now with Coelho, and Coelho makes good ground before he's thundered to the ground.
Confident play by this Hull side. It really is a big gamble when you keep that ball alive in your own quarter, but not the best option from Terry Newton in the end. They're looking to get away with that. It wasn't the best take by Chris Smith, the winger. He fumbled it yet again.
Jackson dummy half. Infield it goes once more. This is a great run from Greenhill. What did Brian Noble, our guest, say? You have to be level pegging or thereabouts with Wigan. You have to hang on to them early, and that's exactly what Hull are doing. Newton on his opposite number, Jackson with the tackle. Coelho at dummy half. Here is Paul Cook. He's got a good kicking game as well. And they're testing Carney again out wide. Mackay's after it. Carney has dropped it. This now is Richard Horne. And Richard Horne with a great opportunity for Hull. 6 to go.
Well, we said it was a swirling wind. It's surprising they didn't kick it high early in the game. They've both got the message now.
Cardell to the line again.
He knows the way to the try line too.
Crowther at dummy half, sweeps it to Smith. It comes wide to Jackson. Jackson waits for the runner. It's Prescott. And Prescott was almost through, but that was a very good tackle by David Hodgson. Now it's with Jackson again. Through the dummy. Outrageous dummy. Finds Paul Cook. Cook!
Oh, he's reaching for it. Good work.
Wonderful defence again. Wild and Radlinski.
And O'Connor went low, stopped his momentum.
Jackson flings it wide. Crowther will take them on again.
Great scrambling defence by the Warriors.
This is the last tackle. What has Jason Smith got up his sleeve? Another kick towards Hodgson this time. Ball has bounced. It's a try for Coelho.
No doubt about that.
Dallas, I think, was the man who dropped it. Dallas and Hodgson were there. He wants it checking, though, by the video referee.
Wants to see whether he's onside to start with. But again, we see pinpoint accuracy by Jason Smith.
Well, he's well onside.
Yeah, and you'll see here, I don't think there was any interference from Chris Smith, and Dallas has just lost the football. He did well, Coelho didn't grab it correctly. No way was the interference. He was going for the football as well, was Chris Smith. Well, Chris Smith has applied the pressure. He lost it a couple of moments ago, but this will be TRY for the Hull side.
And it is a great start for Hull then. A great start for Sean McRae, and Toa Coelho scores the first try of the evening, and Hull have the lead here at the JJB Stadium.
Well, this guy is absolutely brilliant. He must spend hour after hour practicing the kicks like that into the corner. This is a mistake that came from the Irish international Carney. And didn't Richard Horne do ever so well? Scampered through, but this guy's phenomenal. Well, I mentioned before the kickoff that Andy Farrell perhaps would be the man that would try to close him down, but you can see quite clearly that Jason Smith, yet again, and he's done it all this year, has had no one applying that pressure.
Toa Coelho, his third try, and Matt Crowther now to try and improve matters. And he has kicked it, Matt Crowther. Hull have the lead, 8 points to 2. They have been close on a couple of occasions to beating Wigan on this ground, and they have arrived here this evening with their best chance ever, many neutral observers believe.
Well, you see, they were very late, and he'd got the ball away well and truly before anyone could lay a finger on him. That's something that I'm afraid Brett Dallas didn't do. Came off the chest, bounced away.
Great run again from Carvel. That ball came away. There were 2 men in the tackle. We're going to have it back. Oh, Cassidy's dropped it down.
We'll play on. We've got over the advantage line. Good work by Craig Greenhill.
That ball was nicked, I think, by Wild. Maybe, well, it certainly was on the first look. Maybe not. I'm not so sure now.
Well, there was 2 men in there, and the touch judge had a pretty good view of it.
Here's Mackay. Gets Crowther back on the inside. Good tackle by Connolly. Hull, though, are on the halfway line. And here is the prodigious young talent, Richard Horne, but that is a great tackle by Harvey Howard.
Big problem for Wigan is their defence. They're hanging back rather than getting off the mark. Look how they take 2 steps and then they're wondering what on earth Hull's going to do with it.
Carvel being used as a battering ram this evening. We've had 18 minutes of the match. Hull are ahead by 8 points to 2. Wonder what the view's like from downstairs, Phil?
Well, as usual, we've talked about Jason Smith and his kicking. That's the 7th try this year that Hull have scored from kicks, and all of them coming from his Jason Smith's kicking. Just shows to show how important it is that Wigan put pressure on him when it comes to the last tackle. But just seems an air of anxiety, I think, about the Wigan side. Of course, they've received a heavy criticism after losing to St Helens, and they're desperate, really, I think, to get some more points on the board. I know they've got the penalty goal. They've really, I think, we need to get a try to start to relax and go into the game with a bit more confidence.
Yes, they were nilled for the first time in Super League. Here's the penalty why Wigan have the free kick. It was Terry O'Connor who was being held down by Gareth Carvel, but they were nilled for the first time in Super League against St Helens on Monday. It must have dented their confidence, but Sean McRae was saying in the pre-match build-up, wasn't he, that they're a champion side, and the way champion sides bounce back from defeats like that, well, it makes them champions.
Oh, little doubt, and good work from the forwards. Leading the way is Terry O'Connor. Harvey Howard on this occasion, but they're setting up. They've made a good 50 metres progress.
This is Lamb, turns the ball back on the inside. Ferner, great scrambling defence from Prescott.
Look to shade forward.
Terry Newton, he's going to go on his own, Newton. Now he flicks it back. Ferner gathers the loose ball for Wigan, keeps the movement going to O'Connor. O'Connor just stood then for a moment, waited for the second phase. It's arrived now. Lamb to Radlinski. Farrell wanted it and got it. Little dummy from Farrell.
Oh, threw one at Coelho.
He did try to push him off, but Coelho strong. Here now is Lamb. Crossfield kick now from Lamb. Easy. And that's diffused in goal by Crowther. Here come Hull. They want to get on with it quickly, and they are doing.
Oh, that's quick thinking, and that is one big hit there from Harvey Howard. Oh, Ferner went low, and Howard finished him off in no uncertain terms. Good offload.
Ryan to Jackson. Good tackling by Harvey Howard again. Marr dummy half. Howard hadn't cleared the ruck. Hull get the penalty.
Well, he's doing a fine job with Steve Ganson. Stuart Raper is absolutely livid over that. It's quite clear in the rule book. Once you've made the tackle, you get out of the way, and I'm afraid it's not the time to have a bit of a laze in the sun. Well, when I say sun, a bit dark for that at this time.
Just at the moment, but I think we know what you're on about. This is Adam Marr. Connolly's after it.
Nearly got it as well.
Gets to his feet, does Marr. Here now is Richard Horne. Comes inside to Greenhill, taking on Harvey Howard and Terry Newton. This is Jason Smith. He will go the other way. Carvel again. But he knows where the try line is, this fellow. And he's big and he's strong enough to keep going, and those legs pumping.
But why aren't Wigan going low on him? No one's going for the legs.
Jackson's over the line.
That's on the whitewash.
Jackson's over the line. Hull supporters up the other end are celebrating. The referee, Steve Ganson, just wants to check on this.
It's on the whitewash. No doubt about that. There's a good quarter of that football hitting the whitewash. This will be TRY time, and again we see this defence has been caught napping. That's try time. No worries about it. Full control with the forearm. And Wigan's defence, well, it's all at sea. They stood, they watched, and they certainly didn't conquer, but Jackson did. He sneaked forward. He knows it too. TMI.
It is try for Lee Jackson. That is his 50th try in British Rugby League. There are problems mounting for Stuart Raper, but not so for Sean McRae. Hull are in the lead by 12 points to 2. Kick to come.
Well, the way that the likes of Greenhill and Carvel are carving them up down the middle, given the opportunity for the hooker. He's been around a while as Lee Jackson. 33 years of age, you wouldn't think it, would you? That was a great opportunist try. It's there, all right. Video referee had no doubt A quarter of that football was there, and as Eddie has mentioned, this Warriors side is far from it.
So Jackson's try, and Crowther now to try and establish a 12-point lead. Big kick. 12-point lead it is. 14 points to 2, Hull FC over the Wigan Warriors. Wigan on their own ground.
Well, this is excellent play through the dummy, but they were slow, weren't they? Terry O'Connor went forward to try to close him down. You often talk about the advantage of making sure that your first and second markers work overtime. Make sure the solid defence. They were all at sea yet again. They have problems in that defensive line.
Well, Hull's tails are up at the moment. This is Greenhill for them. Big game against Leeds when we saw Hull beat the Rhinos at the Boulevard 3 weeks ago.
But this guy just playing the football, Lee Jackson, not only scored the try, but he's controlling things out there. And
Mackay broke the first line of defence. It was Carney and Connolly who came back bravely and cut him down. And now it's with Jason Smith again. Back on the inside to Prescott. And Prescott is still going.
Well, Stuart Raper has to get the message out. Listen, fellas, you know those things that's got boots on the end of them? They're called legs. Try to tackle them.
Cook will dab this in, looking for Coe Love.
Oh, that was hanging there.
That was bravery from Radlinski, because the boots of his own players were flying in there.
Well, the experience showed. Radlinski shouted at the winger, saying, just give me the cover, and that's what Dallas did. But it was dodgy work. He's been around a while, hasn't he, Radlinski? Plenty of experience, and it was on show there. But getting back to the fact with the way that Lee Jackson controlling things out at dummy half, and that's what Wigan are missing. Terry Newton has to get into this game, and they've come up with an error.
Yes, O'Connor has dropped it. Here now is Adam Marr for Hull. More pressure here on this Wigan defence. Quick play the ball, that's what's needed. Jackson, good run from dummy half from Jackson.
Yet again, this first and second marker, well, they're not working.
Craig Smith's on there, the New Zealand international. Here now is Sean Ryan for Hull FC, 28 years of age. The debut here in the cup tie in February. A drive in again from Carvel. 3 it takes to force him back. They lose a little bit of ground there, Hull. Jackson waits at dummy half again. Here it is now with Jason Smith. Smith then passes it out wide to Cook. Back on the inside to Richard Horne. And Richard Horne is grounded. They're 5 metres away from that Wigan line. Smith will go down the short side again. Looping pass.
Oh, it was on.
It was on. And I think Carney is in touch. Or was it the pass that went into touch?
Well, this will be interesting.
Knock on first, give us a call from
knock
the
on. Knock on is the call.
Knock on first, lads. Wigan head and feet.
Well, this is a try bombed.
All the way, okay, stay.
You can see there that Carney was well and truly out of his position.
If Crowther's taken that, it's a try.
How is that a knock on? Well, that is interesting. It was a touch, Judge. And rightly so, he was pretty close to the action, but that really could have sealed the game.
Second.
If Crowther would have taken that, look how Carney is completely out. Well, that went backwards. That went backwards. How on earth is given that? And then that should have been head and feed to the whole side. No controversy.
Gareth Carvel is off. He has done a lot of hard yards up the middle for Sean McRae and Hull, and so he has been replaced now. And Paul King has come on. Not a bad replacement. Great Britain international. And a high hanging kick here. Prescott's after it, but Prescott's body language was all wrong. Chris Smith, the ball has come free. It could be a try. This could be a try. He'll have to go to the video referee. Radlinski thinks he's got it.
Just check.
Well, Steve Prescott went all over the joint. This is play on. Now they did Radlinski get to it before. I don't think it's a knock on.
I think it may have skimmed the old play.
I don't think Hodgson gets a fingertip to this. It's off Smith's arm there, and it's off his knee. So that's play on. Now the video referee will go to see whether Radlinski gets the ball down before it hits the whitewash.
Dallas is after it
6-4, 6-4. This is a try.
He's the best in the business at this. He's the best in the business at poaching them, Chris Radlinski. He turns 26 on Tuesday, you know. He missed the Saints game with a groin injury. Boy, how they missed him. If he's onside, and that's what they're looking at now, if Radlinski and everybody else is onside, he's got the try. Prescott's body language was all wrong.
Yeah, he lost it completely. We mentioned the fact that it's a swirling wind. He lost it. It ricocheted off his boots. This will be TRY yet again.
Try is given to Wigan. Just the lifeline they needed. The try from Radlinski. Stuart Raper, is he breathing a little easier now? And Sean McRae begins the inquest on how that try came about. But yet another try as a direct result of a high-hanging kick. Andy Farrell with the conversion attempt. No problems for a man who's averaging 14 points per game in the Super League this year. It's 14 points to 8 in Hull's favour, though.
Massive kick here. Andy Farrell, that really was high. Prescott really should have got underneath it. Smith couldn't get to him, but this man, he's poached one. Never say die effort by Chris Radlinski. As Eddie mentioned, one of the best in the business.
Yes, brilliant defensively and pretty hot in attack as well. Craig Smith lost his footing there as the Hull defence closed in. He is the try scorer. Disappears under the challenge of Greenhill and King. Now then a drive forward by Terry O'Connor again.
Isn't it amazing? It looked for all the world that if Crowther could have got that ball just a moment.
Farrell! Farrell on the break! Roared on, great ball inside as well. But a wonderful tackle by Crowther. Did Wild lose that? The ball went forward, he did. It's a knock-on.
That deserved better than that. And the look on Stuart Raper's face.
What a break from Farrell.
They did well though. Crowther did well to come across, and yeah, he just lost it. There was no interference from the winger. Look at that. Super break, did the right thing. And you got to hand it to the winger. Crowther picked the man out. And it was a youngster, Stephen Wild.
He's 20 years of age. Started the game against Castleford here on Good Friday as well. This now is Prescott for Hull. Midway inside their own half. King to drive the ball forward again. Handling errors, missed tackles. Well, Wigan have missed 6. Hull have made 6. Prescott again, tackled once more by Stephen Wild. Horn, that's a good ball to Mackay. He's stronger than Knox, this fellow. Grand final winner with the Bradford Bulls last year. Now it's with Greenhill.
But there again, you see this Wigan outfit that take 2 steps forward, then they hesitate, hang back.
Here's the kick again from Jason Smith. Another tester for Carney and co out there. The ball has bounced unkindly. Oh, they've got the penalty, Wigan. Interference as the ball came down out of the sky.
I thought for one moment there that the referee Steve Ganson was going to give a...
I can't see any interference there.
Neither can I. Well, I heard the referee call. Well, he had his arm on Connolly, grab of the shirt. So the video replay shows it all. He was right with Steve Ganson. But we've seen plenty of that.
Well, we have, particularly over the Easter programme. The 4 matches we transmitted over Easter, there was plenty of that going on. Anyway, Wigan aren't worried about that. That was Ferner on the run. Here now is Hodgson. Half an hour gone. Wigan still trailing, but it's a converted try that they want. Radlinski. It's a great tackle by Jason Smith. Newton's in a dummy half.
They've upped the tempo though of Wigan. That try has lifted their confidence no end.
And this fellow has as well. Farrell taking them on almost single-handedly again. Andy Farrell. and eventually scrapped to the floor, but 3.5, 4 metres away on the last tackle. Gary Connolly's there at dummy half. It comes looping back to Adrian Lamb. Cut out ball then to David Furner. Wide it goes to Dallas. A dab through from Dallas, and that's easy for Steve Prescott.
Sheer panic there by the winger Dallas. I know he didn't have much room to work.
Chris Smith now with the run. It's come free, he's lost it, Smith. And Connolly has got it, as Connolly does so often.
He's magic at poaching this ball.
This is a golden opportunity for Wigan. Lamb, Furner still. That's how close Wigan are. They've got tons of tackles left. Newton to Lamb. Lamb waits. Gives it then to Smith. What's his decision? Forward pass.
Well, Lamb looks devastated. You sure, sir?
So he's devastated, he's confused.
Interested to see this. Slightly, yes. You see that Lamb was trying to bring into play this momentum rule. There's a momentum rule. And then he props, and it just... And you see Lamb trying to push his way forward. It's a moot point, but maybe Ganson has got it right yet again. Having a fine game.
And Hull will be delighted, and this fellow in particular will be delighted. Chris Smith, whose mistake gave Wigan possession. Now here is Graham Mackay again.
Well, I wish I'd a pound note for every time that Gary Connolly has stripped the ball through his career.
Such strength, isn't he? Upper body strength. He's got arms like Popeye.
Well, you're right there, because they do say that he's the champion in arm wrestling.
I think he is.
Doesn't matter how big and strong they are, this guy beats them.
A little flick pass out the back from Jason Smith to Steve Prescott.
Just a little bit scrappy there. I'm sure Sean McRae will be saying, let's just calm it down, fellas. We're in front.
Adam Marr now. This is the last tackle. Surely the kick from Smith. Thought it was charged down there, almost. But it puts everybody on side. Wigan have got it back. They have got it back in the shape of Craig Smith. Let's go down to the pitch side. It's boiling up, Phil, and Wigan, well, the fellas have lifted considerably.
Yeah, the game against St Helens seems to have taken a lot out of them. It's hardly surprising, it was such a fast match. I don't think they'll allow any planes to take off in Wigan tonight. There's a lot of turbulence in the air. Both sides have looked vulnerable under the high ball, and I expect that to continue through the game. Wigan probably spent more than 3 times on players than the Hull side, but you wouldn't have thought it in the first half performance so well. Very impressive opening from Hull.
Yes, can they hang on though to half-time? This is where Wigan is so dangerous. Ricky Bybee, and he was pointed towards the Hull sticks then by Chris Radlinski. He was looking to offload, and Radlinski pointed and said, go forward, gets going forward. High kick from Farrell again. Now Prescott's better situated for this, claims it well. Under pressure from Bybee, but he claimed it brilliantly, never took his eyes off the ball.
He had to as well. He realised that it was a big mistake of his that led to the try from Radlinski. Should have got underneath it, failed to do it, ricocheted off the legs. Oh, big hit.
Bybee, that was a huge hit. And here come Hull again with Richard Horn. Horn to the corner, fabulous tackle from Radlinski. It was Scott Logan's big hit, by the way. Here now is Hull. It's with Cook. It's wide to Ryan and further wide to Chris Smith. He did well to hang on to that.
Had to lunge for it in the end. But good work by Richard Horn.
Ryan again. Paul Cook attacking the Wigan defensive line, trying to step inside David Hodgson. Terry Newton was having none of that. This is the last. Jackson, Smith, Ryan flicks it over the top. Oh, Chris Smith is knocked on.
Radlinski was there in attendance.
If there's one question mark about Chris Smith, and I know he hasn't played much football, it could be about his hands. Does he have the safe hands that a winger needs?
No.
You said it was a question, and you've answered it.
Yes.
It's his first match, to be fair to Chris Smith, since last July.
Well, you take no prisoners in Super League these days.
Now, when Gareth Rayner pulled out this morning, it was a bit of a blow for Hull, but Chris Smith filling the void. And here is Terry Newton. Offloading again. to Craig Smith.
I think Hull will be quite happy to hear the half-time hooter.
Well, there's a little way to go before that then. I'll tell you, there are over 4 minutes, as you can see from the clock. And that kick from Farrell on the bounce into the arms of Crowther. But if Hull can get to half-time leading, it will be a huge boost to their confidence. That ball's come free.
Knock on.
Crowther won't have any of that. But the touch judge has given Steve Ganson the call.
That is a big mistake by the winger. And he did lose it. No doubt about that. There was no interference.
Steve, okay.
Oh, he just grabbed the arm, did Connolly. And as I say, Sean McRae would have been shaping up to say, do the 6, good kick and chase. He knows it, he's just pointing out, saying we should have been down that way. Now they're under pressure.
They are. Oh, but not for long.
Dear me. They are just...
Well, they're out of sorts. There's no doubt. No, they're not.
Over here, lads.
For a team of this stature and players of this quality, they are not firing on all cylinders yet.
Well, it's like a Rolls Royce with no oil, isn't it? It'll go for a while and then just clap up on you.
Well, I've never had one, so I wouldn't know, but I know what you mean. Your analogy is well meant.
Hey, get your feet out, David!
That surprises me, you never had one, you know.
But everything else, of course.
Second, all right.
Rampant lions, rolling lawns, yes, fountains, yeah. Here is Paul King. The possession is swinging very much in Hull's favour. Now, can they hang on to half-time? That will be Sean McRae's #1 aim. Keep the scoreline as it is, or better still, Hull to improve it up to half-time. For Stuart Raper, a try and a goal would level it. Logan on the charge. Great run.
Oh, wonderful stuff. Will they go for the 1 point? I think they may.
You took the words out of my mouth. No. Jason Smith dabs the ball over the top looking for Chris Smith. Well claimed by Dallas and a good hit by Chris Smith. They're defending on their own line now, Wigan, or attacking from their own line.
This is where Wigan are dangerous and they will launch it. But that's good work from Coy Love. I'm not so sure that it was in the touch judge is on. He's seen a bit of a how's your fathers and how to do's.
It's this here, I think. Bosh.
Yeah. He went into the rib cage, I do feel. Coy Love brings it back. Yeah, the elbow into the rib cage.
Well, that's a needless penalty to give away.
Well, it's silly, it's stupid. They were in control, had Wigan down in their own quarter.
Well, I say it so often when we cover Wigan, but this is the time when this team are so dangerous. Just before half-time, the opposition with a bit of a lead, and Wigan can come and hit them right where it hurts most. And that's what they're trying to do now.
You know, I feel that this whole side, they've already accepted the fact that they'll get to the half-time.
Well, that's fatal.
I know.
Connolly.
I think that's been going through their minds in the last couple of minutes.
That's 4 tackles gone. Wigan with 2 more. Newton gets it away to Farrell. Here they come. Furner keeps the movement going to Cassidy. Cassidy then taking on Coy Love again. This time Coy Love gets him down legally. It's the last. And it's now via Dallas with Farrell. And Farrell will hoist the kick out wide. Carney's racing after this. Crowther has dropped it. Oh, pandemonium! And the ball is shuttled dead by Prescott.
Oh.
So close, Wigan.
Not the best, was it? Crowther was all at sea. The wrong position. It's a good job it ricocheted off Mackay's leg. And the fullback came to it. And Sean McRae, well, he must have gone through an eternity this last few minutes.
They've got 20 seconds remaining. The referee, Steve Ganson, has stopped the clock. They're going to have a couple of tackles more, maybe, Wigan. So here they go. Radlinski.
That'll take it.
Hull will get their lead to half-time.
Well, Wigan will be very slow to put this down. In fact, there'll be cramp, there'll be injuries, there'll be all sorts. And that should do it.
There's a half-time siren. Sean McRae quickly away to the dressing room. And Chris Radlinski ruefully holding the cheekbone there. but we've seen a couple of mistakes from the Great Britain full-back that ordinarily you wouldn't see in a full season. We've seen a couple of mistakes from him in this first half that are totally uncharacteristic. But it's an uncharacteristic Wigan Warriors performance. Hull are ahead at the break by 14 points to 8 at this match in the second half. Or can Hull hang on for their first ever win against Wigan in the Super League? Crowd that gets us underway again. Start of the second half. Amazing that Phil Clark said, here comes Craig Smith for Wigan. Amazing that Phil Clark said during his half-time report that some of these supporters were booing Wigan off the field.
Well, they expect so much here, don't they? They went through a period where they won everything. They had the best side, the best players, and it's very hard for these fans to accept it, and for those two people there.
Yes, Maurice Lindsay, the Wigan chairman, alongside Stuart Raper for the time being at the start of this second half. Conflab going on between chairman and coach.
I think the big thing that Stuart Raper will want is a little bit more work from their hooker, Terry Newton. We saw in that early part in the first half that Lee Jackson was bossing the base. Oh, hard lines.
Very much so. And Graham Mackay has it back for Hull, and he will drive this ball back up the middle. It took a while for someone to get to him. It was the smallest man on the field, Adrian Lamb.
Well, that's the first real attacking ploy that we've seen from the little halfback. So obviously Stuart Raper has said we want a little bit more from you.
That's a massive blow you've just seen for Wigan there. That's a big hit by Logan on Bybee. Sean O'Loughlin has come on for his first match in the Super League, and David Ferner is the man he has replaced. Well, let's get the half-time news from Bill. I bet it was a pretty desperate half-time for both coaches in many ways, Bill.
Well, maybe so, Eddie. Just first up, the news of David Ferner. He's got a nasty cut on his ear, and that's the reason I think he's off the pitch at the moment, although he did have a late fitness test going into this game, and he just came through it. But don't panic were the words Andy Farrell said as he came out of that dressing room to his side. That's the message from Stuart Raper. They've got to keep their composure, but he wants more determination, more commitment from his side in this second half. Hull coach Sean McRae delighted with that effort in the first 40 minutes. He wants the concentration from his side. They really have got to keep their eye on the ball and just maintain their discipline and hold on to this lead. That's what they're hoping for.
Dallas breaks through two. Mackay couldn't get to him. Eventually it's Richard Horn. That's better for Stuart Raper. And a penalty here from Horn. He could be, I was going to say he could be in the bin for that. And a big blow for Hull, by the way. Jason Smith on the far side, limping his way back into the defensive line. Message being shouted down by Sean McRae. Wigan then on the charge here with Lamb, looking for a quick getaway out of the block start of this second half.
It's important that Wigan now start running the angles a little bit more. They were very flat in that first half.
Here's Cassidy taking them on. Logan is there, Jason Smith is there. Maybe Cassidy saw that Smith was down and receiving treatment as that kick up the other end went in. Here now is Farrell running the angles. He's lost that. Not the best pass. It went backwards though. It wasn't 6 to go. It was just a fumbled pass by Farrell under pressure. So here goes Connolly now. That's 4 tackles gone.
Then again we see Newton, the hooker, just quite happy to pass the ball.
Oh, and this is Hodgson. That was stolen, surely. One way, one the other.
Knock on Hull.
I think it might be head and feet at the scrum here to Wigan.
So it is. Well, it was a gamble that they took. You can see there that it was stripped. This will be more pressure for the Hull side. Well, Stuart Raper is getting animated.
Yes, he is. Barking instructions down to the side. Sean McRae waits and hopes that his defence can stand solid. Farrell, they do on the first tackle from King.
I think they'll try to work down the middle and then do the switch back to the blind.
It's with Lamb. Lamb bounces away from 2, switches it then to Farrell. Here is Cassidy. Cassidy taking them on up the centre, and it's with Cassidy, but Smith is there. He gets to him. So too does Coe Love. But Wigan now are 3 metres short of the line. They're in. They're in with Dallas. Just the start that Wigan wanted.
The switch back to the blind side work. They sucked in Chris Smith. Chris Smith went for the glory and the intercept, whilst this fella Dallas was in for the four-pointer. Poor positioning there by Chris Smith. You really don't go for glory when you're under so much pressure. He was left in no man's land. It was a simple 4-point for Dallas. And they have paid the price there of Hull. Trying to snatch that ball, they put the scrum down, more pressure, and it's paid off for this fella.
Yes, Dallas with a hugely important and significant try. We just got to Sean McRae after he was shaking his head, and I'm afraid that from a Hull point of view, the defence on that far side wasn't up to it, and they have gifted Wigan the first points of this second half. Now this kick to level it. This kick from Farrell way out on the touchline, a night where the wind is swirling all over the show. But if anyone can, Andrew Farrell can. He's averaged 14 points a game against Hull in the last 4 years. Arrows it towards those posts. He's kicked it. That's a huge lift for Wigan. And a huge lift for Andrew Farrell. 14 all. Huge lift for them as well.
See, Chris Smith took the gamble. Ball goes across him. Doesn't get a touch to it. And it's a simple touchdown for Dallas. But what an almighty kick from the skipper, Andy Farrell. Remember the game against London, where London went in at half-time. It was Farrell that led the way with some magnificent rugby league football.
And I'm sure that Sean McRae, who, if I remember rightly, was our guest at London that night, he will have noticed that, he will have noted that, and I'm sure the name of Farrell was high on his list of priorities in that half-time talk.
I think he may have jotted a name like Chris Smith down as well for that poor position. You've got to be alert throughout the entire 80 minutes.
That was a belligerent run from Bybee. Here now is Newton. It's with Farrell again. He was put off his stride by Ryan. Jackson got to him. He went looking for the penalty. Non-forthcoming. It's with Lamb. That's a lovely dink over the top for Radlinski. Radlinski's got support either side. This is Newton. Oh, he's lost it.
Oh, what on earth are Hull doing?
Well, they nearly lost it then. But here now is Chris Smith. Wigan stopped waiting for the referee's whistle.
They thought there was a knock-on. Beautiful, but was he onside? If the try would have been scored, they would have had to go back and take a look at that.
I think he was well onside, Steve-O. He looked it from up here. Here now is Paul King. Ooh, a big hit on him. Craig Smith with that. There is Dallas. There is the kick, rather. There is Radlinski.
Half a metre behind. Well, they're becoming a lot more adventurous on this Wigan outfit. And it's amazing what a team talk can do at half-time, and Stuart Raper.
Logan's broken through! Prescott was the other way. Last tackle here, though, for Hull with Jason Smith. Here now is Richard Horne, and Horne hoists the kick, looking for Crowther out here. And it's claimed that they've lost it, Wigan.
Again, another mistake. I think it was the winger that actually touched it. Yeah, Carney was the last to touch it.
Connolly and Carney going for the same ball.
Yeah, nobody shouted. And that is very difficult to take a football when you've got your back turned to the opposition, as the winger, Brian Carney, had done.
No communication between Connolly and Carney. So a Richard Horne. Well, he is one of the brightest prospects in the Super League, Richard Horne. And sometimes you just have to live with little errors like that. But a glorious opportunity lost.
No problem with that.
That could be the turning point, sadly.
Okay.
It's a tough game, this. You take no prisoners. There's no excuse. He's lost it.
That's come out.
He's lost it. Play on.
Hull have got it back. Mackay's got Crowther. Mackay backs himself. Flicks the ball back. And the ball is touched down over the line.
He'll go to the screen, or at least he'll ask the touch judge.
Drop out from underneath their own post.
Threw the ball inside.
Mackay threw the ball inside.
He did well, didn't he? Well, a few years ago, this guy would have been planting that ball in the in-goal area. It's pretty close to a try as well. got it right. Touch judge in a good position. Back on the inside. It looked as though the opportunity was there. Was he being shepherded? No. He did it well.
Well, a game that's got some twists and turns still in this, I think. Paul King driving in, handling our account. I think that's to do with the icy wind that's blowing around the stadium tonight. And also the fact that there is so much tension out there. Here is Logan.
It's blowing up here as well. My nose has been running for this.
That's a great defence.
Oh, superb.
The two youngsters, Wild and Bybee. And that was terrific. They got him back 12 metres.
Excellent stuff. And he's moving. And Steve Ganson, the referee, he was spot on. Motion had not been stopped.
Mackay gets through the first challenge, can't get through the next. Connolly and Farrell. It's the last one here for Hull. Jackson. Horn. Wide then to Jason Smith. There's the kick again. Invitation for Chris Smith. That ball will skip away.
Well, Jason Smith trying to get the back spin on that. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But again, we see the quality of this kicking game from the man Jason Smith. Andy Farrell, Jason Smith, two of the best exponents, of course, of attacking kicks.
Connolly changed direction brilliantly. Great tackle, though, low down by Adam Marr. Now then, Carney against his former club, of course. And he's brushed away from two.
Great to see the wingers coming in and helping there, taking the pressure off the forwards.
This is Lamb attacking up the middle. Lamb has made the break. He's got it away to Farrell. Farrell is through Prescott. Eventually hauled down by Paul Cook.
What a great take from Farrell. Lamb, it just spurted out.
Mark Smith is on there at dummy half. The man who was denied by that wonder tackle from Cunningham on Monday. It's now with Andy Farrell again. There's the kick out wide. Crowther is after this. Crowther's claimed it under pressure from Carney. Good stuff from both sides now.
Well, it's a bombathon, isn't it? They are peppering the wingers and full-backs. It is not the night for it. Swirling all over the joint.
Hull trying desperately to get away from their own line. They might do here, courtesy of Scott Logan. Makes a few more metres, but only 16 gained in 4 tackles. Here now is Sean Ryan. Bybee's after him. That's the last one. Great defence from Wigan.
And that's been brought about with the fact that they've kept this whole side to only just a short yardage forward.
That's a great kick from Jackson, though.
It's because they're moving off the mark a lot quicker. They failed to do that so many times in that first half.
Great kick from Jackson. Great chase from Jackson. Quick play the ball, Radlinski. Here now is David Hodgson. Almost through.
The gaps are starting to appear in this whole defence now, and more running from dummy half.
Mark Smith now, clamped by King and by Logan.
Well, he could prove to be the difference. The youngster Mark Smith is only 20 years of age.
Farrell here for Wigan. Trapped in centre field. Mark Smith again. Adrian Lamb. Lamb attacking. Good ball to Radlinski. Desperate defence from Hull again. Marr was to him, so too Prescott. Last one here for Wigan. Smith gives it then to Farrell. Down through this time by Farrell. Prescott's after it. Prescott is trapped in goal by Cassidy. Drop out coming up.
Beautifully weighted kick there by the skipper.
They've turned the heat up.
Andy Farrell. But they're becoming a lot more adventurous in the second half. We've seen Farrell really get into the swing of things early, and the halfback Adrian Lamb. But I think Stuart Raper has made a great choice in throwing this youngster Mark Smith on. They'll be a lot more enthusiastic from the dummy half position, and that's what they needed to do. Hull's defence is starting to just fade slightly in and around on the ruck.
Drop out here from Graham Mackay. Paul King has been withdrawn. Steve Craven has come on for Hull. Maybe sign that King was feeling the pace a bit. This, meanwhile, is Dallas. Dallas is grabbed at the second attempt by the two Smiths, Chris and Jason. Here now goes David Hodgson. Wigan growing in confidence, you feel, as this game progresses. Bybee is on the charge. Turned and put on his back, though, by the Hull defence.
Switch to the blinds on, surely. Yeah.
They go that way with Farrell. He'll attack the line. This is Cassidy.
Great defence from Jackson and Smith. It had to be.
Here's Lamb again. Lamb misses out one and gets it away. A little stab to the in goal for Connolly. Dropped it.
Dropped it.
It was a wonderful kick by Sean O'Loughlin.
Good thinking from the youngster there. Bounced all over the joint. Well, O'Loughlin realised that Crowther was out of position.
Connolly adjusts to have knocked the ball dead. Hull have the tap on the 20.
But what a great effort. Well, 19 years of age, Sean O'Loughlin. And he certainly looks as though he's been around for years.
Yes, with England academy tourists to Australia and New Zealand last summer. Sean O'Loughlin making his Super League debut. There he is in the tackle, along with number 10 Craig Smith. Driving in here now, Hull again with Scott Logan. He's added a bit of weight and beef to the Hull attack, and indeed their defence. Mackay, that's a great tackle by Lamb. Doesn't shirk the business, Lamb, when it gets tough. Jackson, Horn, Jason Smith, wide it goes to Paul Cook, further wide to Toa Koila.
Pretty rare that Hull have been able to get the ball out wide.
It's the last one here. They're under pressure, Hull. They've got it back to Prescott, the crossfield angle kick. Mackay is standing in front of the man who collects it, and who kicked it, rather. That was offside if he'd have closed in on Carney. Well, Wigan have definitely upped the tempo, Phil Clark, haven't they?
I don't know about the tempo, they've certainly upped the enthusiasm, and I think it was partly due to the fact they put so many young players on. O'Loughlin, Bybee, Wild, now Mark Smith. I think they've lifted the senior guys. I feel a little bit sorry for Chris Smith on the right wing for Hull tonight. Cost them side 2 tries, but it's pretty difficult. It's your first game back after a full knee reconstruction. Not the sort of game that you want to make your comeback in.
Now it's a big ask for Chris Smith. Lamb, on it goes to Radlinski. He attacks the line with venom, then he gives it to Connolly. Connolly's seen a little gap. That was quickly closed. Waving out there again, and Logan and Connolly hurt there, I think.
Then again, Eddie, you see that Wigan have started to run the angles in this half.
It's Cassidy again. All down on the last one. Tight as a drum at the JJB. It's with Bybee. Flicks it back to Cassidy. Here it comes now to Farrell. Farrell thinking about the kick. There it is. Crowther looking to defuse this. It missed everybody and bounced touching goal.
It hasn't been a night for the wingers, and especially this fella, Crowther. Phil Clark has already mentioned it's been a hard road for Chris Smith to return to the big time. And I must say that Matt Crowther, well, it's been a dodgy game for the wingers and full-backs tonight. So difficult because of the stands here, so high. It creates such a swirling wind.
It does in the open ends, the open corners. The wind just gets in and billows around this stadium. It needs a touch of genius from someone or other to win this. Jackson might provide it. He was waiting and looking for somebody, but a good job there that the defence was okay from Stephen Wild. Jason Smith, Steve Craven loses the ball, and Cassidy has it back for Wigan.
Sean McRae will be furious there. It's been a while that they've had it. Was it knocked out? Hard to say. It's been a while since they've applied any sort of pressure. Just ankle tap.
Good job they did too on Hodgson. Jason Smith trying to stop Wigan's momentum here.
Well, they could have done that if they hadn't have dropped the football. And that is the biggest problem now for this whole side. They've got to maintain and make sure that they go through their sets of 6.
The pass to Connolly. Connolly, and it's not Connolly, I beg your pardon, it's the young man O'Loughlin. Connolly was on his inside, and O'Loughlin just couldn't get the ball to him.
Came on the pace, took it well.
They were there together, Connolly and O'Loughlin. Here now is Farrell to Lamb, and Lamb fires it wide to Cassidy, and Cassidy takes them on again. Wonderful tackle by Jason Smith. He's huge in attack, he's massive in defence. Lamb attacking the line.
Throwing the dummies yet again. Quick play the ball. They're struggling to hold to get their defensive line set up.
Mark Smith. Wide it goes. They're in. They're in with Hodgson. Same wing. And Wigan hit the front again. David Hodgson with the try. And both coach barking instructions down to the sideline. But Wigan have the lead courtesy of David Hodgson. And that is his first try in Super League this year.
Well, putting down to the neat break from Sean O'Loughlin that built him up on the situation there. Love really didn't get into the face of the centre. But it's up to the centre to make sure you get the half gap, and that's what he did. Excellent work there. And he knows the Sean McRae that what? Oh, this is the reaction from Stuart Raper. He's happy. But you could see there that Sean McRae, when Craven lost the ball, it had been the first time that Hull had been in the Wigan quarter for nearly 8 minutes.
David Hodgson scored the try. It was made by a bullet pass from 20-year-old Stephen Wild. I think Phil Clark hit the nail right on the head when he said that these young players, Mark Smith, Ricky Bybee, Sean O'Loughlin, and indeed Stephen Wild, they have all lifted the experienced heads. And this fellow's not so old either, Hodgson, though he seems to have been around for years. Hodgson's 20. 18 points to 14. Wigan ahead. Another difficult kick from Andrew Farrell. He knows the range, he knows the distance, he knows the angle he needs. He scored one from almost exactly this position not long ago. What a kick that would have been.
Yes, it would if it had gone over the post. You're well, certainly right there.
It looked like he was going over. I was halfway down giving it him, and then I turned round and did the U-turn.
Well, look how Bybee set him up, and it was good play by Hodgson there. But the point that I made earlier in the fact that Stuart Raper brought on the young hooker Mark Smith. Mark Smith darted away and created the angle there, and it sucked in the defence. And that's what you should do from the dummy half position. Confuse the defence, pull them to you, you'll get the overlap. And that's exactly what happened when Hodgson went in for the try.
So, 18 minutes remaining, and here is Bybee again.
Biggest problem for Hull, they may go to a bank and ask for a mortgage so they can buy the ball because they haven't had it at all.
They haven't, they've been starved of possession in the second half. Here comes Carney. Well, the Academy League returns to Sky Sports on Tuesday. Sky Sports 3 at 5 o'clock, tea time viewing, and it's Saints against Leeds. That ball was stolen.
A little pleased for that.
The odd little rub of the greens going Wigan's way here now.
Yeah, you could see the arm of Craven. Gave himself up in the end. Yep. Right in front of the official, Steve Ganson. Well, I must say, has had a fine game. He stamped out, the silly laying on and messing around with the play of the ball early in this match.
Just been reminded, by the way, that the Academy League, which returns this week, is the place where the likes of Ricky Bybee, Stephen Wild, Mark Smith, Richard Horne, where they were all discovered, where they all come from. So the stars of the future will be on show on Sky Sports Tuesday. Here is Hodgson. Hodgson just scored, fancies another. But Hull cannot get the ball back.
And that will be tiring them. The legs will be heavy.
This now is Craig Smith. I beg your pardon, it's not Smith, it's Stephen Wild. Lamb will come down the short side. Well, he would have done if he could have got the ball away.
Great defence there from Adam Mayer. It had to be as well.
Connolly, looping pass to the skipper.
Oh, they are struggling. They had good defence early.
Massively in Wigan's favour second half.
One going down, the other lot on the top, but they're bouncing off them.
Lamb for Connolly, and Connolly is just short.
That'll be on the last, that'll be the turnover. Sigh of relief. The one thing you can honestly say is that Hull will not throw the towel in there. Neat little kick, drop it into the corner. But look at the Wigan defence now.
Yeah, Yes, they'll be swarming all round the ball carrier here in black and white. That's a good ball though to Logan. But it's O'Loughlin again. Only 4 points in it. 15 minutes remaining. Jason Smith went for the big hoof downfield. Was he looking for a 40-20 there? It's such a wide pitch, this. Only on the third tackle that, and Brian Carney will run it back. They needed to get the ball up the other end and hunt the mistake.
No, I think he dissected the fullback and the winger deliberately there, Jason Smith, because he realises they've got to try to force the mistake out of this Wigan outfit, who are building in confidence, they're getting on the roll. And the longer that Wigan have this football, the more work that the whole side have to do in defence, and that really takes it out of you.
Greenhill with a big hit on Dallas. Here is Harvey Howard now. Harvey Howard started the match, he's had a breather, he's back to try and force the advantage home in this second half. Great pass, Newton then to O'Connor, the big guns are out there for Wigan now. Last tackle though, Hull have held them out, can they hold them out for another? Mark Smith, here now is Farrell, a kick to test Chris Smith. Chris Smith takes control of it underneath the nose of Steve Prescott.
That was a good shout there. Prescott was coming for it, and Chris Smith said it's mine.
Crowther ducks under one tackle. The ankle was held though by Mark Smith. Good stuff from Wigan now. Swarming round the man carrying the ball. It was Adam Marr then. Jackson. King.
It's getting to that point that how much petrol is going to be left. It was a very busy programme over Easter. All the players will be struggling in the final minutes, that there's no doubt.
Jackson's kick.
Not the best.
A bit shallow.
Oh, it's bounced.
There's a fumble. That was maybe a critical fumble by Dallas. It allowed Chris Smith to come in and get the tackle in, and they lost a few yards there, did Wigan.
Well, it wasn't the best kick there from the hooker Lee Jackson, but
it was turned into a good kick.
Well, Dallas, he just hesitated. Really should have been underneath it.
Hodgson.
Well, maybe we're being too unkind. Maybe that swirling wind yet again just directed it well away from him.
Terry O'Connor straight at the chest of Marr. Horn is there, King is there. Eventually they drag the Irish international to the floor. Mark Smith, well picked up by Terry Newton. Back to Mark Smith again. He's taking on Greenhill and King. The big prop forwards get him. 5 tackles gone, 1 remaining. Where's the kick? It might come from Farrell. There it is, a dab this time over the top, turning Crowther around. And Crowther has got Prescott and takes the tackle from the Wigan captain himself. 10 metres away from their own line, Hull. It's with Jason Smith. It goes further wide. This is Coe Love. Great tackle, Adrian Lamb.
Wonderful one-liner defence there from the Warriors.
Chris Smith driving it in bravely. Remember, he's not played since last July. Here now is King. Comes wide again. Scott Logan once more.
Well, this Wigan outfit must be wondering where on earth can they score this try, because surely Hull's got to be out on their feet.
The run, by the way, the drive-in was from Gareth Carvell. He's back out there.
The tackle from Newton had to be.
Mackay is a dummy half. Here is Jason Smith again. Goes wide to Lee Jackson. A dab over the top, but all the way into the arms of Dallas. And Dallas on a crossfield run. Now he'll straighten it up. And Paul Cook is the man who got to him. Radlinski from dummy half. Tackled by Coe Love heavily.
Jackson really should have done better with that kick. Right down the throat to the winger. He should have forced it into the corner.
O'Connor, a willing workhorse up the middle. Mark Smith. Harvey Howard. Cook there. Oh, he got the ball away. Did Harvey Howard straight into the arms of Lee Jackson.
Well, he's not happy. They are controlling this game.
Was there a call from Lee Jackson? He's experienced enough.
Well, either way, you just don't offload in heavy traffic like that. Oh, the break!
Lee Jackson gets it away to Prescott. What a wonderful tackle by Newton.
That's the second one. Within seconds that saved the bacon.
This is Jason Smith. Has it just delayed it? Jason Smith still hauled down by Cassidy. They still have a couple of tackles remaining.
Oh, that's
a
gotta be
penalty.
interference.
It is. Now, will they take the two? Will they go for glory?
They'll
He's
take the
tapped
two,
it.
yeah.
He's tapped it. Greenhill. Greenhill.
I think he's done the right thing, you know, because Wigan, they were just going to walk back expecting to go for 2 points.
It's with Richard Horn. Fired wide to Mackay. Mackay will test them with his strength. And Harvey Howard was there. Good job too.
Carney put his body on the line. He'd had to.
This is Carvel again. Carvel has lost it. Wigan have it back.
Why on earth did they have to do that? Try to offload, and he knows it to Sean McRae. We've already seen Harvey Howard get the ball and pass it to the opposition. A golden opportunity, and they haven't had many. Well, was it a hand there?
Mackay was looking for the pass.
Well, the referee missed the knock on there.
Last 10 minutes, 4 points the difference. Who has all the juice in the tank?
Yeah. It looked like Howard to me. Got a fingertip to that, but did it go backwards?
On your feet.
Carney. Bounced off Carvel. Was funded by King. Mark Smith. Terry O'Connor again. Gets Wigan almost to halfway. And offloads brilliantly. And they keep the ball alive. It's Farrell. Farrell spun to the ground. Jason Smith's all over the place.
You've got to admire the way that this whole side have really marshalled their defence.
Prescott.
Great hit.
Big hit by O'Loughlin.
Well, since he came on the park, he's certainly not frightened. He knows what it's all about, and there he is again. He's making the best of this, and rightly so.
Here comes Gareth Carvel again. He was doing this job in the first half, right at the start of the match. Toa Love trying to break this line of Wigan defence.
Well, it's going to take an act of brilliance or a huge mistake that'll see this game either won or lost.
Jackson plays the ball to Toa Love. Here now on the drive is Paul King. Good tackle by Mark Smith. Jackson again on the last. They're running it are Hull. It goes back to Richard Horn. He's just lost the momentum for a moment. Gives it then to Paul Cook. It's opened up for Cook. The little dab over the top. Oh, he's dropped it as Cassidy. It's going to be a dropout.
Well, Greenhill
was hunting it.
Oh, excellent stuff. You've got to hand it to him. They kept the ball alive. And Cook's chip over the top. Oh, it hit the post. Imagine what was running through the mind of this fella, Mick Cassidy. He tried everything, but it hit him. And that's the reason why Hull, well, I think this will be the first time that Hull have had the opportunity to go through two sets of 6 in this second half. That's how much the amount of possession that the Wigan Warriors have had.
Well, it's a huge night for Hull. It's a big night for Wigan as well. And it's a question now of who has the petrol left, with Wigan with so much possession in this second half. Who has the petrol left to go on and win this game? Hull have come again from the dead with Greenhill here.
Greenhill, I mentioned in the first half, along with Gareth Carvel, they've really worked overtime.
Jason Smith on to Paul Cook. Here now is Steve Prescott joining in, and Cook takes over once again. Tackled by the Wigan captain Andy Farrell. 3 tackles gone, they're 8 metres short. It's with Richard Horn. Richard Horn then to Paul King, and King almost through Howard, but manages to release the pass. It's with Jackson. Jackson, Paul Cook. Here now is a chance. Richard Horn. He's over the line. It's Richard Horn. Richard Horn has scored. Well, I said before, when you have youngsters in your side, you have to take it on the chin when they make big blunders. But you have talent like that, and you can come up with match-winning plays. Has Richard Horn won the match for Hull? A huge question mark still. A long way to go for Wigan to come back into this game. But Hull have come back from the dead, and they now are level pegging again.
They sure have, and they needed a map. They were lost. They didn't even know what this sort of territory was. But full credit, they kept it alive. They have to, they've no problem. Paul King had to keep it alive. Back on the inside from Cook, and that is in. Horn for a sensational effort. Barely 3 attempts near the Wigan line throughout this second half, and they've come up trumps. Jackson, who has played a magnificent part tonight. Good work it had to be as well. It looked as though Cassidy had held him back.
This is a massive kick now for Matt Crowther. This for a 2-point lead, and we're well into the last 10. Crowther with the kick. Hull have a 2-point lead. Can they defend it? 18 points to Wigan, 20 to Hull.
Well, you've got to just sit back and admire the way that this Hull outfit have ground their way back on the inside. Good work, as I mentioned, from King. You can see that the defence is all at sea. Dummy from Jackson, back on the inside. He did well. Snuck the arm out, and there is Andy Farrell saying, come on!
Well, the skipper's laying the law down. It's April 1999 that Wigan last lost 2 in a row. They have to come from behind again in the last 5 minutes or so to rescue this match. Farrell with the deep kick-off. Looking for the mistake from Hull, deep in their own half. And here comes Mackay.
Well, I mentioned, Eddie, halfway through this game that the Wigan players will be thinking, what on earth do we have to do to score? They have had this whole side on the rack for nearly all this second half. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of half breaks, plenty of full breaks.
5 minutes to go and Hull ahead, but only just. A battle royal at the JJB Stadium. Here comes Carvel again. Big hit by Newton. Gets the ball away though to Horn, the try scorer, and Newton drills the youngster into the ground. It's now with Paul King. King. Ball has come free.
Went backwards.
Knock on is the call from the touch judge. Knock on.
Ooh, that's a big call. King's not too impressed. Looks at his teammates. Well, how on earth has he got a knock on there?
Well, he's trying to push that ball back.
Precisely.
Touch judge has got this a little wrong.
Deliberately off, going backwards onto Cassidy's leg. Well, a little bit of lady luck. Could swing this game yet again. Wigan on the rampage. What an effort it's been from both these sides.
Oh, wonderful defence from Hull. The ball's in touch. It's going to be head and feed to Hull now.
Well, it's panic time, isn't it? But great defence, you've got to hand it to him. And there's nothing that the youngster could do about that. They really put the pressure on him. The big youngster sort of says he's only 30. He's only 31.
Dion Bird.
But he is a youngster to me, Eddie.
Yeah, I realise that. Steve Prescott. Graham Mackay. Mackay attacking them down this wing. Flicks the ball inside to Crowther. And Wigan desperate in defence. Quick play the ball. It's with Greenhill. Hull looking to finish this off. Greenhill. They're calling for reinforcements out wide. Jackson. Pass to Smith. Smith then gets the ball away, and great tackle from Lamb. Jason Smith again stands, takes the tackle again from Lamb. Lamb is like a little wasp for Wigan tonight.
Oh, look at Jason Smith taking an eternity to play the ball. No, the ball played the man. This will be Wigan's possession.
Straight into the breadbasket of Craig Smith. It bounced off him, but was not ruled to be a knock-on. Went straight at him, was kicked straight at him.
Now Wigan have to start taking a gamble. 2 points adrift. They can't afford just to keep driving. They've got to try to shock Hull with a counter-attack from deep within their own half.
And Hull have got to make their tackles count, and they've got to not give away any penalties. That will be the call from Sean McRae, I'm sure. There's Lamb. Here is Farrell. It goes back to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin's dropped it. Hull have got it back. Chris Smith.
Oh, he'll hang on to that football.
Oh, the pressure for Stuart Raper. 2 minutes to go. 2 points the gap.
Well, Jason Smith out there. He'll be controlling things, saying, come on, fellas, this is no time for anything fancy. This is hard work, up your jumper.
And will they drive this ball in toward... Oh,
what a
hit by Newton.
Well, he's really come alive in the second half in defence.
Dion Bird felt that.
Did he ever?
Jackson. Here is King to trundle it towards the post. Now, will they go for the one-pointer?
I think he'll go for a little dab into the inside, but they're in a position.
They're coming this way, though, with Horn. Horn stabs it through. Carbell's after it, but it's a good defence. Well, they are so close to a famous win. But can Wigan, do they have one last throw of the dice?
Look at the strained look on the face there.
This is Carney. And Carney is away from Horn, and he's not away from Jackson.
Well,
Mark Smith, Andy Farrell.
Just over a minute now. They've got to keep it alive. They've got to give it air.
And they're going to do exactly that. Here is Hodgson. We're inside the last minute. Hull are 2 points to the good. Wigan looking to counter-attack from
He's got to be offside. Jason Smith. He's got to be offside. Oh, he's got to.
Yes, he's given it. Now then, will Farrell kick? Will Farrell kick from out there and save the point? It's over the halfway line.
It's a long way. He said put it out.
And put it out he will. Half a minute.
He wants the glory and wants the 2 points.
Half a minute. It'll be the longest half minute of the coaches' lives.
They're digging deep, both sides.
Hull mustn't concede a penalty. Wigan will look for the 4. Farrell with the kick out wide. It's Hay, lads, Hay. It's palm back. It's palm back to Newton. Newton's away. Newton's away from 2. And he's hauled down.
They'll only have one more set.
This is it. Carney.
Carney's going to go on his own. He doesn't realise.
Carney.
It's over.
There's the siren. And they have won. Oh, he's carrying it on. No. The whistle has now gone.
I can't believe that Carney didn't realise it was only seconds. The players don't know it's all over.
Steve Ganson does. It's all over. Stuart Raper has left the scene of Wigan's second successive defeat. The Hull supporters have witnessed Hull's first ever win in Super League against the Warriors. There's someone who's done as much as anyone to secure that victory. And for the first time since April 1999, when Halifax beat them away and when Castleford then came to Wigan and won 24 points to 8, Wigan have suffered 2 defeats in a row in the Super League. Hull win a memorable match. The Wigan fans are stunned. Hull, they hardly had the ball in that second half. Then they got the ball in hand, and boy, did Richard Horne make sure that they did something with it. Hull have won a famous victory here at the JJB Stadium, their first ever win in the Super League against the Wigan Warriors. A narrow margin, 20 points to 18, but Hull have prevailed. And Sean McRae will celebrate with Tony Anderson, his number 2, a famous win for these supporters who really must believe now that Hull are amongst the big boys of the Super League. Wigan, they applaud them sportingly. It's Hull's night. Hull for a long time. Hull have claimed their first ever Super League win over Wigan, 20 points to 18. Try scorer Lee Jackson is the man of the match. He goes home with a Tissot watch. He's with Bill.
Lee, congratulations, a man of the match performance. You've known some big wins in your career, but that must be one of the best.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game, obviously, to play and obviously to win after 10 years.
And a nail-biting one as well.
Oh, it was hard work out there. It was very hard work.
Well done. Let's move on to coach Sean McRae, and nail-biting for you as well.
Yeah, I just thought we lacked control in the first 20 minutes of the second half, and I thought, oh, here we go again against one of the great sides in the competition, and I thought maybe we're just a 40-minute team, but no, I think we showed a lot of character to come back. Wigan and ourselves, I think, tonight showed signs of fatigue. It's been a very tough campaign for the last 2 weeks, but obviously delighted to come here and get a result, and I think it is the first win in 10 years against the Wigan side.
Do you see that as a landmark win for your side?
Well, I think it just shows again the development, the rebuilding program that's going on at the Boulevard, and the maturation of some players, and you know, it's all part of the package, and things are coming together pretty well for us.
Looks like it. Thanks, Sean.
Cheers, thanks.
And while that was being spoken,
Below stairs, the inquest in the Wigan Warriors dressing room went on. Oh, and he's absolutely distraught, isn't he?